Okay, here's another two-bar example. It's got a straight feel. It sounds a lot like this. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a two-bar example based around this chord. It's G minor 7. Now the first move here is to put your little finger up here on the C on the 8th fret. Now that's putting the 11 on top. The next move is this interval of a fourth. This is a C and an F. And then we move it up a whole step. It's a slide, and we lead with an upstroke. Then we play the same thing again, then two downstrokes with the same interval. Slowly, everything together sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, let's take it up tempo now. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here's another example. This one's up-tempo, kind of an Earth, Wind, and Fire thing. It's a straight feel, and just scratch the guitar all the way through. Sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. This part is based around this G minor 7 chord right here. Now the rhythm part starts with an upstroke, up, down, down, up. Now that pattern will repeat throughout the entire part. After we play that, then we take up here with our 4th finger on the 6th fret, and we bar the first 2 strings. That's an interval of a 4th. That's an F and a B flat. Then we play the part again, and then we come down to this. A C and an F, again a 4th interval on the 5th and 6th fret on the 2nd and 3rd strings. The whole thing together, played slowly, sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. Up, down, down, up. Up, down, down, up. One more time. Okay, let's take it up tempo now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the last one in this section of minor chords is in C minor. It's a straight feel, and it sounds like this. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's look at this. This part is also based on this chord voicing. Now the only move here is to go from with your first finger on the 8th fret to your third finger on the 10th fret, and then back down and give it a little shake. So the part slowly, in its entirety, sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's play this one with the band now. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we've been talking a lot about chords and chord fragments and dominant and minor. And let's just go on to another aspect of funk playing, and that's single note parts. Now basically there's 3 ways you can categorize single note parts. First is muted. The second is open. And the third is the most aggressive, it's skank. All right, now some of the similar rules apply to single note playing that do to playing chords. First, you want to keep your right hand moving in a constant 16th up and down fashion. That helps you keep your time together, just like when you're playing chord parts. The other thing I'd like to mention is that you'll notice that all of the examples in this section are very simple, short parts. So not to draw attention to themselves, they just blend in with the rhythm section. Keep that in mind when you're coming up with your own single note parts. Now the first one is in the key of C. It's a straight feel, and here we go. 2, 3. Okay, let's break it down a little bit slower. Now this muted part like this, notice we're muting with the palm of our hand on the bridge. We're muting just to deaden the sustain of the note, but not to cut off the pitch. These muted parts are referred to as bubble picking parts because they have a kind of like a percolating sort of sound to the track. Okay, let's try it slowly. Keep your pick moving with your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm shaking that long note. Okay, now let's play it up tempo with the rhythm section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do the exact same part with a swing feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this next example is in A minor. It's a straight feel now. It's another example of the bubble picking, but we're going to open it up halfway through. 3, 4. You can play along if you like. This is muted. Now open. Keep your pick moving. Now you notice I have an effect on the guitar, a flanger. The modulation effects such as phase shifting, flanging, and chorus sound really good on these single note parts, so we're going to try a couple of those out. All right, let's play it back up to tempo now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's play it now with the swing feel. 1, 2, 3, a swing it. Open it up. This last example is also a muted part, a bubble picking part, but it's different from the others. With the other examples, we played one small part and it stayed the same while the chords changed around it. In this case, our part's going to change, the rhythm will stay the same, but the notes will change and follow the chords. Check it out. 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're playing over two chords here, A minor 7 and G major 7. Now you can hear I've got a phase shifter going here. It's another modulation effect. It sounds good on a muted part like this. The notes I'm using over the A minor are an E, G, A, and C. And when it goes down to G major 7, the notes are D, F sharp, G, and B. Let's play it a little slower together. 2, 3, 4. All right, let's do number 34 up to tempo now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's move on to the last of the single note techniques. This is called skank playing. I don't know why it's called skank playing, but it sounds good to me. It's the most difficult of the three, but it's also my personal favorite. It's got a lot of attitude. It's like playing a single note part with the power of playing a chord part. Okay, there's some exercises that you can play. The actual skank sound is a result of being very accurate with your right hand, that is, hitting the note you want to sound, and then hitting the next string below it, or the next two strings below it. Now they're muted, and the muting takes place with your left hand, that is your index finger generally. Now that's for the downstroke. On the upstroke, you're hitting the muted strings first, and then the note you want to sound. So it's the opposite. Now the exercise. I tell my students to just use a minor pentatonic scale, the one that most people know. It could be anything, you just want to get across the neck. I'm in A minor here. And start with a downstroke. And what you're trying to accomplish is accuracy with your right hand and some sort of muting technique with your left hand. Those are just downstrokes. Let's try upstrokes. Now you're going to see this is a very difficult technique, so it's going to take some practice. Once you get that together, then do both up and down strokes combined like this. Now the time isn't so important at this point, it's just getting the accuracy with your right hand and developing the muting technique with your left hand. Okay, now it's generally easiest to start this technique in the middle of the guitar, that is, playing the third or the fourth string. So we're going to start the first exercise here on the third string playing a D and an E. And it'll sound like this. Start scratching. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's add a little note to this. This is at the end of the bar, on the last 16th, we're going to take this G, give it a little push, little attitude. We push it and then let it drop, and it'll sound like this. And now let's add an envelope filter just to give it a little bit more traditional sound. An envelope filter is like a wah pedal that reacts to attack. All right, now let's play this whole part with a swing feel with the rhythm section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's a challenging part for you to sink your teeth into. This utilizes an open E string on the bottom. And it's got a swing feel too. Okay, we're going to slow it down, but before we play it slow, check a couple things out here. What's happening is I'm playing the open E on a downstroke, and then on upstroke I play the E, the octave, here on the 7th fret, and the pad of my finger is deadening the open E, so I get this. And it cuts off that open E from ringing. The next move after that is, and notice I'm shaking that E pretty good. Okay, so it's, okay, that's a D and an E, and then we go with a G for the last note. And I'm using my index finger for the G as well as this D here, so you got to kind of jump a little bit. Play it slow together. Swing, 2, 3, 4. right, let's play this up tempo with the band. 1, 2, 3, yo! Here's one with a straight feel. We're in A minor, and it has a whole step slide in it. And here it is. 2, 3, 4. Okay, if we slow it down and take a look, we're in A minor, like I said, and we have just these notes, A, C, G, A, and the whole step slide that I talked about was from D to E. And then when we come back down to C, give it a little bend for attitude. Okay? Slowly. 2, 3, 4. Keep your hand moving. Alright, we're going to play this back up to speed now. And this part kind of lends itself to having a wah-wah pedal. And you'll also notice, hopefully, that I'm using the wah to accentuate the part, not just moving my foot in time with the music. 3, 4. Alright, this one's going to get pretty fast. It's a straight feel, it's a 2-bar pattern, it's in the key of E. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This part's pretty straight ahead. There's just a D and an E. And at the end of the second bar, there's a little downstroke on the C sharp, and then a quick upstroke on the G with a push. We've done that move a couple times by now. You should be pretty much used to that. Let's try it a little slower altogether. 2, 3, 4. Alright, it's going to get fast. Are you ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this section, we're going to combine single line playing and chord playing to create some interesting and more challenging guitar parts. This first one's in the key of D. It's got a swing feel. It's a 2-bar pattern. It sounds pretty cool. Let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, like I said, it's a D9, but we add the 13 on top, that's the B, and then we play A, C, D, and then again with the D13, and then all downstrokes A, C, D, and then F with a little push and a drop. We're used to that move now. Let's play it slower all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time. Okay, let's take it back up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's the one up in the key of G. It's a little faster. It's a 2-bar pattern. It's got a straight feel. Kind of has a James Brown attitude. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. This example uses a number of devices. It starts off with the same 9 chord and the 13 that we've used on a bunch of examples. And then it uses that tritone, sliding in the tritone. That's the third and the third and the flat 7th. And it does it again. And then at the end it uses a single line, D and then F and G, but that's hammered on. Okay, kind of a skank attitude here. Let's play it slow. 2, 3, 4. All right, let's play it back up to speed. Make it groove. 1, 2, 3. Ha!
Kiss myself. I'm a sex machine.
Okay, here's one back down in E. It's got a straight feel. It's going to get pretty fast, and it'll probably kick your butt. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a lot to look at with this one. First of all, this slide happens a number of times. With our second finger, I'm sliding from D to E, kind of a skank sound. So in the beginning, it's a slide, upstroke, slide, and then 4, slide, upstroke again, like the beginning. And then this skank part here, where I'm starting with an A and sliding up a half step. So that's sliding up to B flat, back down to A, G, E, and then we begin all over again. Let's play it slowly all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's take it back up to speed. We're going to play with the band. Hang in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this section, we're going to talk about playing double stop parts. Now, the term double stop just simply means playing two notes at the same time. My approach to playing double stop parts is pretty similar to how I approached playing the single note parts. Just by adding the second note, it helps outline the harmony. Now, you can play it muted, open, and skank, just like the others. And like single note parts, you can play the same part while the chords move around, or you can have the part follow the chords. In this first example, we're going to be in B minor. We're going to play the same part, but you'll notice the chords change around the example. Let's check it out. Okay, if we take a look at this, the two double stops that we're using are a D and an F sharp. They're on the 7th fret, then a C sharp and an E. Now basically this chord progression's in B minor, so this D and the F sharp are the 3rd, the flatted 3rd, and the 5th from a B minor chord, and the C sharp and E are the 3rd and the 5th from an A. So the implication in the part is that we're just going back and forth between B minor and A. Okay, you can hear that I've got the flanger back on. I think it sounds kind of cool on this part. Let's play it together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's play it up tempo now. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's move up to the key of C. This part's a little different from the last one. This is a melodic part where the chord stays the same, but the part moves around. It's got a New Orleans sort of shuffle feel to it. I think you'll like it. Let's check it out. All right, let's take a look at what's happening here. The first double stop is a C and an E, which is the root and the 3rd in C, sliding down to barring with our first finger on the 8th fret, and then barring with our 3rd finger on the 10th fret, back to the 8th fret, and then the 2nd and 3rd string with our 3rd finger on the 10th fret, that's a mouthful, and then our first finger down on the 8th fret, and then hammering on with our 2nd finger to the major 3rd, so that's. Now we move down in here to 5th position, and we play a D and an F, C and an E, and then a single line, G, A, C, D, C. Let's do the whole thing slowly now. Remember, it's got quite a swing feel to it. 3, 4. One more time. right, let's do it up. 1, 2, 3, a gumbo. The last example in this section, it's a 2-bar pattern. It has a swing feel, and although it stays the same rhythmically, the part harmonically moves with the chord changes. All right, let's break this down 1 bar at a time. G minor is the first bar, and the second bar we're playing over an F major 7. Over the G minor we're playing an F and an A, and then a G and a B flat, and then a single D note. It starts with an upstroke. That's the last 16th of the bar. It's called a 16th note push, and it's a little difficult to get used to. Then over the F major 7, we're playing an E and a G, and an F and an A, and then a single C note. Okay? Let's try it together slowly. 1, 2, 3, swing it. One more time. Okay, now let's play it up with a band. 1, 2, 3. You've probably heard me play this rhythmic device, this 16th note triplet, a number of times throughout the video. You know, it's a real effective device to have in your funk arsenal. But once you get comfortable playing it, you got to be careful. The tendency will be to play it all the time, and it can take away from the groove as much as it can help it. So let's start by playing an exercise that helps you get it under your fingers quickly. Okay, you'll notice a couple things. First, we're just here back at our old friend E9. What we're doing is we're playing downbeats for a bar, and then on the end of 4, we're playing this 16th note triplet. You notice my hand gets kind of caught playing an upstroke and just suspends there for a second. The reason for that is a 16th note triplet forces 3 strokes where 2 would normally go. So it leaves you on an upstroke at the beginning of the bar. So you need to suspend your hand for just 1/16th note to get the cycle back together again. Let's play it slowly, you'll see what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Okay, here's a 2-bar pattern that uses that 16th note triplet. It's in the key of G, it's got a straight feel, and it's kind of loosely based on that original JB part from the beginning of the video. Sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's slow it down a little bit. We're up here on the 10th fret, playing a G9. At the end of the bar, we do that 16th note triplet. At the end of the second bar, we go down to F9, F sharp 9, and then we're back to the top. Let's play it together slowly. 2, 3, 4. 1. 1. 1. All right, be on your toes. This one's fast. Let's play it up tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some of the rhythm examples that we've played throughout the video, and we're going to put them together in song form. Now there'll be 2 songs here, and each one will have 2 sections, an A section and a B section. And each of those sections will be 8 bars long. Now the first example that we're going to play, you may remember this was number 28, and it sounded like this. We're going to move that up. It's in G now, and we're going to move it up to D minor. Got a little bit of a swing feel to it. Now that'll be the A section. That's a 2-bar pattern, so what that means is you'll play it 4 times. And then you'll move on to the B section. And this was number 41. You remember this. But we're going to put a swing feel to it, because earlier we played it with a straight feel. Now we put a swing feel to it, and it gets a little funkier. Now like I said, this is the B section, and that's an 8-bar section. And this is a 2-bar pattern. We only want to play this for 7 bars, however. So we're going to play this part 3 times. That'll be 6 bars. And then we're going to play the first half of it. That'll be 7 bars. And on the 8th bar of the B section, we're going to go up here to A9 and play this figure. Okay, kind of a James Brown thing. So 8 bars of this section, of this part. Then 7 bars of this part. And we're going to end with. Let's play it one time through the form slowly, and I'm feeling a little frisky. I think I'm going to try a few things here. 2, 3, 4. B section. Turn around. Here comes the ending. On 1, D minor. Now all those little things that I'm doing, you see me do that stuff throughout the video. They're just based basically on minor pentatonics or the major scales. There's nothing tricky about them. It's just experience and listening for parts on records. Okay, now let's bring it back up to tempo and play it with our funky rhythm section. 1, 2, 3. B section. Turn around. Wah wah. Okay, here we are at our last example. The form here is the same, an 8-bar A section and an 8-bar B section. The feel's a little different. It's a straight feel, and it's a little bit faster. We're going to use rhythm pattern number 38. It sounded like this. That was a 1-bar pattern, but we're going to change it a little bit and turn it into a 2-bar pattern, and it'll sound like this. So we're just taking and barring on the 5th fret the top 3 strings. One more time. That's a 2-bar pattern now. That'll be the A section. We're going to play that 4 times. 2-bar pattern, 4 times, makes for the 8-bar A section. Now the B section, we're going to play pattern 14. Now pattern 14 originally was in the key of E, and it was a swing feel. We're going to move it down to D and make it a straight feel, and it'll sound like this. Like that. Now that's a 1-bar pattern. We're going to play that 7 times, so we fill up 7 bars. Now on the 8th bar of the B section, we're going to play this turnaround, an E7 sharp 9 chord, good old Jimi Hendrix chord, and the rhythm will be like this. Just straight 8th notes. And maybe at the end you want to put one of those 16th note triplets. So it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll go back to the top. All right? One time through the form. 1, 2, 3, 4. B section. That's 4 bars. Turn around. And we're going to end on 1 on A minor. Here we go, up tempo. 3, 4. Okay, that's it. We've come to the end of the video. I'd like to say thanks very much for checking it out. I hope you got a lot out of it. But before we go, there's a couple of points I'd like to make. First of all, you can learn all the technique, but you can't learn the feel unless you listen to the artists who define the style. You really need to spend the time and the effort to really listen closely to these musicians. So, let me suggest a few things. In the book, you'll notice a list of CDs that I've put in there. First of all, I've just recently come across a compilation set on the Rhino label called In Your Face. It's about a 6-disc compilation that really has a great cross-section of the artists. Now, if you want to check out specific artists, you got to start with James Brown. Okay, from there, you might want to check out Sly Stone, Parliament, Earth, Wind and Fire, Tower of Power. Boy, there's so many, I'll leave out some, but Early Kool and the Gang, Cameo, Graham Central Station, Rufus, Average White Band, Prince. They're all great, but there are certain records that you just have to have. So go out, do the research, check out the music, and then you'll be a true funk guitar player. All right, thanks again, and we'll see you around.